Yeah, hit
All right.
record.
Oh
Oh,
man, we can
Oh,
start it
here we go.
already.
We on the spot
so
now. Shit.
so we could talk about that one right now because see, my wife is a housewife.
Okay, break it down, my
So,
brother.
but yeah, like you said, it's the management. She does everything. So if things need to be repaired, she's here, to call in the repairs and get people to come in. It's she also does all the cooking. She also does the schooling
That part.
because the kids is homeschooled.
That's
So,
beautiful.
and then juggling all of that as well as the laundries, the cooking and the cleaning and every fucking thing else, and then just making other decisions. So it's a lot involved. I mean, me and her pretty much do the same job, except she do it here, and I got to do that shit somewhere else.
So can I
So
can I say this though? Like to Cobb's
yeah,
point is like he's talking about these women that are saying that they want to do that. They think they want to do that because they think it's easier.
yeah, they
Like
think
they
it's
want
easy.
they want a rich
Right
husband to
now.
take care of them and they want to be a housewife, but they don't actually realize how much
Yeah,
goes into doing that. Like just
It's
yeah,
like
a
they
most
job.
they
men don't
think,
know how much goes into doing that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
you're right. It is a level of being subordinate to that man on a level that they probably have not even understood at that point. Because
Although you doing you
regardless of the
doing a
matter,
lot with the
no, no,
subordinate shit though, man.
no,
You
no,
doing
no,
you
no,
doing
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
with
no.
the
Because let me
subordinate,
tell you
man.
something. Let me tell you
You
something.
doing a
Let me tell
lot,
you something.
man.
It's real. It's real, my brother. It's real, my brother.
Mhm.
Because it's the simple fact is, regardless of the matter, you are the one that is providing at the pinnacle of the household. You are providing the food, everything, the shelter, everything. You are the provider. If you are the provider, you are underneath that provider just in the landscape of that alone. Because without you, nothing works.
That doesn't make sense to me though,
Nah.
Break it
because
down.
because you're providing the external resource, but they're still maintaining the internal scaffolding.
Oh, they're providing something
Right.
too. They're providing something
Right.
too.
They right. I'm not
It's
I
a
think
negating
we've
it's a
that.
been trained to think of
partnership, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've been
It's a
trained to think of
partnership.
it as in a certain way, and we've been taught to look at it that way. But I think that's because
yeah.
we've been raised in patriarchal societies where the translation has been given to us a certain way. But I've had to learn that everything that I've been programmed with and taught, I got to flip that shit on my head to be healthy. And that means I got to reevaluate every single way I look at the world now. Like
Yeah.
when I came up younger, yeah, it was my woman's supposed to be submissive to me, my woman was supposed to be this and that, but I didn't realize that that was me regurgitating what somebody else taught me. That wasn't me really taking a
So
real
Because
inventory of what's really happening in my relationship. Like
so
I used to look at at women because because you're emotional, that means you're less than me, or that I'm stronger than you. But I had to realize that since I couldn't tap into my emotions, that shit made me weak because I
yeah,
didn't learn how to
Mhm.
engage with and manage my emotions. And her
Mhm.
knowing how to manage her emotions and how to really work with her emotions, even if it meant she had to break down and cry from time to time. I couldn't cry. I thought that meant I was stronger, but that shit actually meant I was in a much weaker position because the first time I cried and I couldn't control that shit, I was fucked up. Whereas for her, she's like, all right, I cried. I cried in the shower. Now I'm good. I'm off here making dinner and I ain't thinking twice
yeah.
about it. I'm fucked up
so
for 6 weeks because I cried one day.
so
Check me out though.
but again, what Cobb is saying is not based on a non-traditional. He's talking about traditional marriages, how a lot of people still
Yeah.
think of
Yeah, I
marriage and
understand that. I
housewives,
understand that, but
and like that's still the model that most people
yeah,
have as an example for what a marriage and what being a housewife and subordinate, like that's still what
yeah,
his point is. It's not our more modern takes on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
we think
Mhm.
differently, but when you think about how a lot of, especially young women who don't know any better, they still have not the modern version of that story. They're
The
still going
traditional.
by the old school traditional ways of thinking about it.
I think what
Therefore, what he's
uh,
saying is how like it'll be a wake up call no matter what. Like regardless of what they think, whether it's
Agreed.
traditional or
Mhm.
not, it's still gonna be it will be a wake up call for them. And even like I don't want this shit. This is too much work. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's not
this was it.
got to be ready for that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think that what's being mistaken as being a housewife with being a trophy wife. If you are a trophy wife, that means
Word.
that
Word.
the bills are
Oh
paid,
Lord.
and this person is and there's a maid to take
Yeah.
care of everything. Then you are a subordinate because you have no responsibility. You're just a kept person. almost
Agreed.
like a pet to a degree. But when you like, if somebody is a homemaker and they're in childcare, that's a huge responsibility. That means you got to because that means you got to do shit like cleaning baseboards and shit. You got to make sure that all the laundry is done. You got to make sure that there's nothing in the kitchen, anything. And if you don't maintain a home, the home falls apart physically. Like it has to get in there. The roof caves in. The plumbing goes bad. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not. I would think of a homemaker just because somebody's maintaining the internal and somebody's external. That's a partnership. But the subordinate comes in when it's like, okay, look, I'm getting a maid, and then the kids are going to school, and you just home. Then it's like, okay, well, motherfucker, you just gonna do what the fuck I tell you because you have no responsibility. You're like a fucking child in this house.
Bonbons.
Right.
That's a different. And I think that is being young women think of that. They think like they could be a housewife. They're gonna be sitting back and watching TV and chilling and shit. And I realize like, no, you gotta get off your ass. Like there's a pile of dishes and there's some laundry you gotta knock out because if I'm coming home, I'm not folding that shit. I came home from work. Like watch them out, but I'm not doing shit. Like you know what I mean? Because
you're right.
Person, I'm maintaining the external, the internal, your job. I think you know what I mean. And honestly, if you ask me, I'd rather bring external resources in because it's more work to me to keep a house clean or keep a house maintained together. Like that shit is a lot of work. Childcare is a harder job for me than doing IT work. Like that shit is. So I have a lot of respect for that shit.
So
Let me-
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Cobb. Yeah, do your thing. Yeah.
Let me commend my brother over here, Bear. Just for the simple fact is that he said something that I have no faith that could possibly happen is that he could leave his woman alone, and if somebody come to the house that need to fix something, she could tell that motherfucker what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a level.
She know where all the weapons are, so we good.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. No. That's a good one because not every woman can do that. Not every woman can sit back and say exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've had to take days off of work. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to say, you know what, they coming by the house, she ain't gonna know what to say. If I do leave her there or whatever, she gonna end up calling me, put me on speaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's not in that level of technicality. You know what I'm saying? Not all women pay attention to those level of details that men pay attention to. The ones that we know that are relevant to everything else like that. That's what separates us from them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they always talk about like, you know, like how women and the pay scale don't match. I think the pay scale should match for the work that you do. You know what I'm saying? But you have to add up to it. If you at home and you doing your thing as a housewife, let me tell you something. If you doing that thing, I'm coming in the house, my dinner on the table, my kids doing their homework, they doing what they need to do, everything else like that, we good. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to treat that shit like a career.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a job. It's a full-time job.
It's
not a 40-hour-week job. That shit is around the clock.
No.
job.
Yeah.
Right.
No
These young girls don't know. These young girls
there's no
don't
punching
know
out.
what it takes.
A lot of people think that they want somebody else to take care of their responsibilities. Like, this man gonna come in, he gonna, handle all the shit that I gotta go out in the world and deal with, and I won't have no problems anymore.
Yeah, and Paul made a good point. Is they aren't talking about, like, they don't realize that they don't want to be housewives. They want to be trophy wives, and that's a whole different level because that's where the disrespect comes in. When you're a trophy wife, you don't get respect either. Like you don't you don't matter. You're just pussy. And
that's when you just look good. You just
the flesh.
You on the arm. You're Bonnie and Trump type energy. Like you just there to be. Yeah, you just go to the gym and work out, and you maintain your appearance until it starts to eat.
And that's also a life
another
that
one
they don't want. That's also a life that they don't want because that's its own kind of work. Like,
it's demoralizing.
Yeah,
honestly, tell the truth. It very. I couldn't understand myself as. Could I ever be a trophy husband? Yeah, I could. Let me stop that bullshit.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be with you. I fuck up some bonbons.
You know what?
He said bonbons.
You could until that woman is making good money and she's having a conversation with another dude, and you tried to throw something in, and she'd be like, "Yo, men are talking or some shit."
Grown folks talking. Go
fuck your homework.
Go get me a drink.
Yeah,
So she
like
tell you
you
go
sitting
get her a
there
drink.
talking to another man.
I can't
like,
do that.
Can you go get her some drinks? And then it's like, damn, I need a.
You see, he brought it back to reality.
Can you buy me some respect?
Yeah, I can't. My scale of where I'm at, I couldn't see that. Just my own type of person I am. I couldn't see myself, bringing myself down to that level.
Nigga gonna go get a job application at McDonald's or something like, yo, I got.
But I'm just saying, if Oprah told your ass to go get her ass a drink, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna get a drink.
I'm gonna get her a drink and then go get myself a car while I'm at it.
No,
buy a car at the same time. Buy a house at the same time.
If there's enough money on the table, my spirit is very humble.
Yeah. You sit up there checking a restraint on that motherfucker named Stedman.
That's a temp job anyway. If it's Oprah, it's a temp job in my head off rip. So yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
not a problem. I ain't got to be in public, right?
Nope.
But
Let
nah,
me
that
tell you
that
something.
distinction between the housewife and
cash. You can see me in public.
That would be a full trophy, huh?
Give me a blue pill.
Get me and go.
I'll work it out.
What's wrong, baby? We can work it out.
Yeah,
that's the first thing out my mouth. We can work it out.
Oh, so you done mentioned blue pill. You made me forget about part of the job. Damn.
Yeah,
you did say Oprah. You did say Oprah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, true.
That's a job.
No, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. You can.
Well, that's a jobby job.
Yeah. Hey, man. Sometimes we gotta get our boots in the mud.
Yeah. But I mean, in all fairness, too, though, I'll give this too. We talking about the young ladies and the trope. Now we got the distinction between the trophy wife and housewife. There's a lot of young dudes too who also might have the job, but also don't carry the other responsibilities that we say a man should carry, or the other half doesn't carry their fair share of the relationship too. So I think it's one of those things where it's not just the women, because Q and I were talking earlier about how a lot of men are in these little echo chambers talking about women and shitting on women on the internet, and a lot of women on the internet doing the same thing, and both sides talking about we could do without the other. But I think a lot of those conversations are built on us, each side not taking an accountability while they're pointing fingers and saying like, okay, there are places where I need to grow and I need to evolve, and there's something I got to bring to the table too that I'm not bringing to the table.
I agree, and I could give you an extreme level of disrespect that I know I've seen it for years, and I've never done it. And it's like when these younger men, these brothers, they start talking to their woman, right? And they get into a disagreement or something else like that. They start calling them bro.
I've seen that.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. You know what I'm saying? As talking to them as they talking to a brother, another man. You know what I'm saying? They lose that communication at that point to understand what they're actually supposed to be cherishing, that they talking to this woman. You know what I'm saying? You ain't talking to no brother. You ain't talking to no dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect her like that, because you sit up there and say you look like a dude to a woman. This gonna be like, what? I ain't no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's just how the youngins be talking, because I've heard
it is.
I've heard some young girls say that they about to fight, like bruh. And I'm like, yo, they girls calling each other bruh. So
because it's not, it's something to it. I really do believe it's something to it. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big disconnect. I mean, a lot of them didn't have, and it's not just them. I mean, in our generation too, I've been looking at like how we've had fewer and fewer elders to pass things on and to kind of coach us into adulthood at each stage, from the boomers to Gen X, from the Gen X to the millennials, and the millennials to Gen Z. Like, there's a smaller and smaller percentage of adults that can actually help you figure out how to mature and come into adulthood. Q and I were talking earlier, and I was talking about how, like, the past few years, I've honestly been going through, y'all know this, remember the song Second Childhood from Nas?
Yeah.
I acknowledge I've been going through a second childhood in a lot of ways, because there are a lot of ways I didn't mature when I was younger. And that's because there are a lot of lessons that I didn't learn and that I didn't incorporate when I was younger. And I remember when I was in my 20s hearing that song and passing judgment on older dudes, not taking into account all the things that it takes to be and become the type of man that we think a man is supposed to be. And the other part of that conversation is, I'm grateful the fact that I've been able to do that because it's allowed me to be and feel like more of a complete person. It allowed me to feel like I don't have to wear a mask so much. Whereas a lot of the other brothers that I look at who may not have gone through what looked like a second childhood phase are living a life where they're wearing a mask all day and they're not actually being who they really truly are at their heart every day. They're doing what they have to do and they're projecting the image of what they were told a man is, as opposed to being who they really are at the core of their heart. So, not a rambling, man.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
You know, it does come to a point in your life when you have to sit up there and you have to understand the type of person that you are. You know, you have to understand that. You know, I did something crazy today, right? Because I have I be using my chat GPT and shit, right? I be doing that junk all the time. AI, everything. I AI on all my emails. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't get an email from me unless it's been AI checked. Okay. Right. I asked AI, what do you know about me?
Uh-oh.
Right. And it started rattling off all these data points of everything. It knew where I worked at, how many years older I was than my wife, you know, all this stuff, you know, what I do, all this stuff. And then I was like, okay. And it was like, did that scare you? And I was like, no. She said, I could give you the Black Mirror version. I could give you the OCD version. I could give you whatever version you want to go deep into your subconscious as you want of what I really think about you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me say something real quick. The fact that you referred to it as she said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is crazy right there because like the way we're starting to normalize just
the machines.
Machine, yeah. Like anyway, sorry. I wanted to slide that in there real quick. Just
we're personalized. Well, look, I had a similar experience, Cobb. I fed it lyrics. And I had a conversation with it about the lyrics. And I said, at some point I was hearing, I forgot what it was that it was saying, but I was like, who is the artist that wrote these lyrics? And the motherfucker said, you. I was like, oh shit. So yeah, it damn sure knew me. That shit fucked me up.
Wow.
That's why I don't fuck with it.
Yeah. But let me tell you something. It kept telling me something and asking me, you know, was this too wild? I said, no. I said, honestly, tell the truth. None of this stuff that you have said, I am not alarmed about at all. I am cool with all of it.
With yourself.
Oh man, I let it go deep as it possibly could. It thought like it's like, are you sure you want to keep going? I'm like, I'm cool. You know, I'm not worried about some machine out there or some database or data frame or something like that, mainframe, telling me who I am and what it thinks of me as a human being. You'll never be able to conquer that. You know, you can say whatever you want to say that I'm this type of person. I may agree with some of the concepts, but guess what? I'm a human being. You're always going to be a step behind me and my mental thought.
Damn right.
So that's when the computing kicks in.
Yeah, they don't have it doesn't have the passion.
And it gets the Elon bot bodies. I just watched Ex Machina last month.
That's my shit.
Y'all ever see that?
That's my shit. I love that movie.
The AI robot. Ooh, that movie is crazy.
It's crazy.
What's it called again?
Ex Machina. A Day of Ex Machina.
Yeah, they dropped the Deus off of for the movie though. It's just Ex Machina.
They did. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. That's crazy. Huh? No, it's live action.
No, it's Oscar Isaacs and Alicia Vikander, I think.
I don't remember what her name was. I had to go look her up afterwards.
Yeah,
she killed the role. She
Yeah, that shit is crazy though. It's we're headed there.
Yeah, we're absolutely on our way there.